Cek satu dua, cek satu dua.
Selamat sore, terima kasih.
Biar ini bisa tangkap speaker.
Selamat sore. Ini Kakak Steve ya?
Iya Pak, benar.
Oh, ya udah. Sip, mantap. Kita masih nunggu yang lain kan?
Iya benar Pak, kita.
Ya udah. Oke,
Siap.
saya
Siap,
izin.
Siap, Pak. Siap.
Ini off dulu ya kalau gitu ya. Oke. Makasih Kakak Steve.
Siap.
Tes lagi. Coba komunikasi lagi.
Pak Agung dengar suara saya ya?
Ya, dengar jelas, bagus.
Oh, siap Pak, siap. Kita uji coba suara. Terima
Yes.
kasih Pak.
Oke.
Di atas aja. Tuh bocah mati lagi. Go eat, go eat. Go eat. Hidup dari bos. Hello, Miss Lily Rose. How are you?
Hello, Steve. I'm good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So we will start about 30 minutes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, my brother. Apenai. Bola. Hola, hola. How are you? Hello, Bulan Naka. How are you, man?
Tapi di Zoom kedengaran jelas. Kalau di Zoom sama sudah. Saya langsung ke mana? Nah, tidak malu Pak. Sama kita bunyi lagi.
Bendera termerah berapa? Bendera termerah.
Lagi. Ya.
Aduh. Ini
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, salam sejahtera, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Bapak Ibu, saudara-saudari yang saya hormati, selamat datang dalam soft launching Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum yang akan kita ikuti bersama di saat sore hari ini. Untuk mengawali seluruh rangkaian kegiatan kita di saat sore hari ini, saya mengundang Bapak Ibu saudara-saudari untuk bangkit berdiri. Kita akan mengawali kegiatan kita dengan bersama-sama menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya. Bapak Ibu, saudara-saudari, dipersilakan untuk duduk kembali. Baik Bapak Ibu, saudara-saudari, seperti kita tahu bersama bahwa saat sore hari ini akan diadakan launching organisasi Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum yang dengan Founders Mara. Organisasi ini merupakan sebuah forum bagi semua anak muda di wilayah Indonesia Timur yang ingin terlibat dalam kegiatan diplomasi. Kita akan mengikuti bersama di saat sore hari ini. Namun sebelum itu, kita mempersilahkan kepada Persekutuan Anak Muda SIA 28 untuk mempersembahkan musik tradisional agar kita sekalian dapat menikmatinya di saat sore hari ini sebelum memulai kegiatan. Untuk itu, waktu dan tempat kami sediakan.
Soalnya begini, kita bisa lihat ini.
Iya, fokus sesuai. Pagi saya kebetulan saya kerja.
Terima kasih atas persembahan musik tradisional yang sudah kita dengarkan bersama. Mohon maaf atas kesalahan penyebutan nama grup. Grup yang telah menampilkan musik tradisional pada sore hari ini adalah grup musik akustik Idola. Terima kasih atas penampilannya yang baik sekali dan menghibur kami semua. Bapak Ibu, saudara-saudari, dengan tidak membuang waktu, kami mengundang dengan hormat moderator dan semua pemateri di saat sore hari ini untuk mengambil tempat dan kita akan segera memulai acara kita di saat sore hari ini.
Baik, selamat sore semuanya. Oke. Sebelum kita mulai kadang-kadang cara launching dan saya di sini lanjut diplomasi forum karena semua anak udah boleh saja semua berdiri dulu biar lebih semangat gitu ya. Boleh tepuk tangan dulu buat kita semua yang sudah hadir di sebuah gerakan baru yang memang sangat luar biasa di mana diplomasi forum ini mengakomodir anak muda yang ada di wilayah Pasifik, gitu ya. Jadi sekali lagi boleh tepuk tangan buat bordernya, Steve yang sudah sendiri karena saya akan mengundang beberapa narasumber dan juga beberapa narasumber kita sudah hadir secara online. Di sana ada Pak Agung. Selamat sore Pak Agung. Mudah-mudahan suara saya bisa terdengar dengan baik. Oke, nanti sebentar kita akan menyapa Pak Agung juga. Juga sore hari kita tidak berada sendiri di Papua karena saya mau kita semua dengan tepuk tangan buat teman-teman yang ada ikut di Zoom juga yang dari Vanuatu dan juga dari Fiji. Boleh tepuk tangan untuk teman-teman yang sudah hadir di sana. We thank you, host from Vanuatu and also Abelai from Fiji who involved in this event. Mari sekarang kita tidak tepuk tangan buat kita semua yang ada di sini. Silakan dulu kembali. Silakan dulu kembali. Sore hari ini saya tidak akan berdiri di depan karena selain saya juga sekaligus mengundang Pak Andrem dan juga Steve boleh bersama-sama dengan saya di depan. Kita berikan tepuk tangan buat kita punya narasumber di sebelah kiri, bersama-sama. Dan juga Pak Agung sudah ada. Selamat sore Bapak, mungkin bisa ya, Bapak sudah ada di situ. Kemudian ada David Rose from Vanuatu dan juga Abelai mungkin boleh melakukan kamera juga. Abelai siap to be camera. Oke. Baik, hari ini tanggal 8 September 2022 merupakan sebuah momen yang spesial sekali karena kita semua bisa hadir di sini untuk melakukan sebuah launching dari sebuah gerakan yang luar biasa, yaitu Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum dengan mengandung tema Strengthen Solidarity for Indonesia atau menguatkan solidaritas dari Indonesia. Dan ini forum ini dibuat untuk kita semua yang adalah memiliki ras Melanesia yang juga ada di Indonesia dan beberapa ada di Pasifik. Dan juga nanti sebentar kita akan mendengarkan dari saudara Steve tentang mengapa forum ini dibentuk, kemudian tujuannya apa. So di sini juga sudah ada, kita punya dua teman dari Fiji dan juga from Vanuatu. So today Steve will explain why we make this forum, the Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum, from Lily and Abelai from Fiji. So thank you for joining us today. Dan juga Pak Agung, teman-teman semua, Pak Agung ini beliau adalah Direktur Keamanan Diplomatik dari Kementerian Luar Negeri Republik Indonesia. Kita berikan tepuk tangan Bapak sudah ada bersama-sama. Dan nanti saya baik Pak Agung. Oke, nanti untuk kesempatan yang pertama saya akan berikan kesempatan kepada saudara Steve Mara untuk nanti bisa memberikan kita sedikit penyampaian tentang mengapa atau latar belakang dari didirikannya Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum.
Ini termasuk Zoom. Ya sudah ini aku. Zoom itu? Ya sudah. Ini YouTube tadi ya, YouTube tadi, aku tadi.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to stand here in the front of the great people and looking forward to the future of Pacific Island region. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much to the main speaker, Mr. Rahul from Ministry of Foreign Affairs Malaysia, and also actually we have Mr. Michael Morpang here, but maybe today, and also Ms. Lily Rosewell from Vanuatu, and my friend from Fiji too. All the guests in this room, Mr. Suguri, thank you so much for coming to our mention the relationship with tomorrow. Also all students for international relation, and also the University. Welcome to the agenda launching the Melanesia Diplomacy Forum. Let me first talk about the short explain about the purpose of forming this organization. The name is Melanesia. Youth Economic Forum. This means that all the Melanesian new generation should be here. This forum, we can talk about our future. We are independent organization. Politics and power organization. So the basis of this organization is unity and the guideline of the here. Maybe our organization youth economic forum has 6 goals. First, to make Indonesia and Pacific region peaceful, prosperous, dignified, productive, and advanced in all areas of life. Second one, to build solidarity and solidity between the new generation in Indonesia in order to build understanding, to bring peace, prosperity, and elevate the country dignity. The third, to become one of the young generation of the resident in Indonesia and countries that have the become a forum for discussion and study related to the strategy issues. And also will have positive contribution to the government and society. And the last one will take an active role in the dissemination of information about Indonesia foreign policy, Indonesia population, and foreign countries. It is a great hope that this organization will become a platform for young people in Pacific region. Today we have this report conference from Fiji. Yes, actually, before this counting, like from Minister of Foreign Affairs about 6 months ago. We not only talk about politics, but we forgot to talk about any collaboration. There are lots of collaboration that we can do together. When I joined actually organization, and my friend from Fiji asked me why you stay here, why you want to come to join this you have to stand for only for politics situation in Papua. But I said that no, Papua people, young generation from Papua, we have to stand for many things, not only for politics, but we still have economy, we still have social, culture, and these things. And these things that I think we have to do to encourage human resource in Papua. Our dream is one day the young people who are members of MIDI can contribute to providing ideas in the world, all over the world, especially in our home forum, Pacific Island forum, and maybe we can go to the United States to talk about different possibilities. To get our dream, we have to stand together. Find a way how to for example, we can have like seminar, symposium, research, even for diplomacy purpose, we can have like coordination organization, and I really hope will happen in future. So the first one, and maybe we can go to the Palo Fiji and another place, Pacific Island. So we can have many agenda, and it will be started from today. And to explain more about our forum, actually, we will provide information about our organization in our YouTube channel. We have a country, and we'll also have social media, and also mention the diplomacy for website, my website. Lastly, so the time for today is strengthen solidarity from Indonesia to the world. So from here, from this speech, from Jepura, Papua Indonesia, I would like to ask all your country to join with us. We have to celebrate with us. And let's enough to start for today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Steve. Please, once again, please give round of applause for Steve. Right now. And one of the important things that I noticed from your speech was you will say that when you're talking about organization, you're not just talking about politics or energy of collaboration between young people around the Pacific countries. Thank you, Steve, for the opening speech. And for the next one, we're going to hear or listen to the speech from Bapak Juwita Sibiri dari Danrem. Nanti kita sebut sama dengan Pak Jun. Okay, thanks yours.
Baik, good afternoon, everybody. Greeting us all. Diana, my friend, Steve, young people, guys, people in Jayapura, please, Heram, and all delegation from PE, Vanuatu, maybe from Prime Minister. Thanks for inviting me to this meeting, Melanesia Diplomacy Soft Launching Forum. I think in this good opportunity, first I want to introduce myself. My name is Joe Sendiri. I'm from North Sumatera. My question now is Komandan Korem 2 Praja Wirayati, where I served for about 2.5 months. Showing the knowledge that the presence of the TNI in Papua, I want to tell all of you, we are supporting the duties of the police in doing of law enforcement, maintaining sovereignty and maintaining of integrity of the state of the Republic of Indonesia. Tax in Papua, both organic and assignment are established for territorial tax. Then the government continues dialogue and overcome problems in Papua and we call it territorial operation. Through our cross presidential instruction or impress number 9 2020 year has been issued concerning administration of welfare development in Papua and West Papua province. With the presence of impress, the TNI has amended to have extra welfare development in Papua and West Papua. Dan same as any other province, the Inland Security Pattern will prioritize the duty of Kodim and Babinsa. They can directly help the local community by implementing territory, development, and social communication. The others that I respect, the extent of youth in Asia Pacific region is expected to be intensive Indonesian communication with the government and people. The countries in the region, which will in turn help strengthen the information of Indonesia. And I appreciate for the Mr. Steve Mara make this agenda. I think Steve Mara, one of many young people in Papua, have concern to develop many people in Papua not about political issues. It's good, I think. I pray for you that God bless you always. And then happy audience. Let's build a cooperation that can grow up to understanding the communication between the youth who join Malaysian Youth organization with the TNI, especially for us from 112 Pelajar Wilayah. We will support the establishment of this organization. We are ready to encourage youth to learn a lot and perform. At the time of participation in the special diplomacy hub, increasing friendship between nations and creating the world of peace without violence. We believe friendship for my foreign youth is the future investment. This is my welcome. My Almighty God always give us instruction and guidance in presenting the best of the will of nation and leaders of Indonesia. That is all, and thank you. Best wishes for all of us. Thank you. Again, please give round of applause for the speech. Again, I also noticed about you mentioned about peace. This is also one of the concerns of this forum. You organize the forum that one of the aims is to gain peace between countries, and this is one of the great opportunity for us to have diplomacy for youth in Pacific Island. Thank you so much, Pak. And the next one, we are going to invite our members as well from online who attend from the group. I would like to invite Lily Rose from Vanuatu to also give a little speech or remarks for this soft launching of the Malaysian Youth Diplomacy Forum. Lily, are you there?
Yes. Good evening from Vanuatu.
Hello, Lily Rose. Nice to see you.
Hi. Good evening, all from Vanuatu. Thank you so much for the invitation.
The team was trying to set up this up, so please wait for a little bit. We'll ask back to you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Lily. Lily is from Vanuatu, now with us here in Jayapura. Boleh tepuk tangan buat Lily dulu. Lily so please wait a little bit. We'll fix it.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the invitation and congratulations on your soft launch for the Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum. Ladies and gentlemen and dignitaries, good evening. Thank you for inviting me. I am honored to be part of this prestigious occasion. The Melanesian Youth Forum, it's a timely event where I think it is important for young people in Melanesia to participate in. A few years ago, when I was able to go around as part of my job as a journalist to go around the Pacific to meet people from different culture and who are similar to my culture, but are in different countries in the Pacific and the Asia, I was able to learn a lot of things. And in one of those visits where I was able to attend with fellow journalists from the Pacific, we were able to come to Indonesia. We do know that there are people who look like us in Indonesia. We didn't expect that we share a lot of similarities and but at the same time, very diverse. There are people where we met around working in town and in the cities and eating in the restaurants. We were able to see that there's a lot of people who look like us, and we were able to see the features and relate to, oh, these people look like the Highlands people from PNG. These look like people from Western Province in Solomon Islands. And these people look like people back home in Vanuatu. And some people look even like the Kanaks in New Caledonia, and some look like the Fijians. So myself and my fellow Pacific journalists were able to converse and talk about how similar we look with each other. And we knew that there were people who look like us there. We didn't know once we were on ground that there is a lot of people who look like us and come from, there's more than one provinces of Melanesian people in Indonesia. And during those visits, it actually broadened my perspective on our culture, our cultural differences, our similarities, and the rich diversity in our language, in our areas, in our food, in how we dress. And it also inspires me to learn more about those culture, because it also broadens my view of the world. It encourages me to look at the world differently and not limit my perspective to certain beliefs and principles that I grew up in and I believe in. So I think for this forum, it is very important and it is very timely that you have such forum. And I want to congratulate Mr. Steve and his team and everyone who has in one way or another been able to put their hands together to help and make this possible. Because youths, for young people, it is very important for you to come together and in a forum where you can champion causes that are of importance to your interests, as well as learn through diplomatic relations, network with like-minded individuals like you who would want to explore and discover themselves in the discoveries of different culture and different countries. And I would encourage you all to take an interest to learn about the Pacific, because I think for us, we would like to really learn more about the rich culture of the Melanesian people in Indonesia. And I'm sure from the visit that we did to Indonesia, we just had like a a shot of what your rich culture and the people have to offer that we need to explore and know more about it, so that it will change our perspective on how we look at our other fellow Melanesian people and also at the world. And it is, I am pleased to be part of this forum to help you and encourage you that get out of your comfort zone, because if you're in your comfort zone, you'll be too comfortable to get out and learn more about the world. Once you learn more about different countries, different cultures, and how similar they are to you, then it'll help you to change your perspective on how you look at issues and how you look at the world in general. So I am pleased that I was able to be invited to be part of this very important occasion. And one thing that I've learned is getting to know people and getting to know places and culture has really helped me to broaden my perspective of or how I look at things personally, and also in how I do my job, broaden my ideas and getting from one industry to another, getting to learn new people, new issues, address new issues. And also it helps me seek new experiences. And I've noted that during those visits, we have a lot in common with all of us in Melanesia and in the Pacific. We have a lot in common, but at the same time, it is important for us to get out and know more about what else does the world have to give to us. And as young people, you have the energy to do that. You have the energy to invest your energy in something that will be productive. In the many years that you'll be on earth, what do you want to see for yourself? Do you want to go out and learn about culture, learn and know more about the people who look like you in other countries? Do that. If you want to get an education, go for further studies, do that. That is, you have the time, and you are at the prime of your life where you can do all those things. And I am thankful that I am invited, and I want to leave you with a quote from Jeremy Anderson, who is a school motivational speaker. He said, "Your condition is not your conclusion." So what you're comfortable with is not the end of the world. There's still a wall out there, and this forum will give you that space where you can learn more about different issues that are of relevance to people of the Melanesia and the Pacific, and even as young people. So thank you.
I just want to highlight the little fact that we mentioned that when you go overseas, or at least you go to Bali, and when you have a new friend from overseas, like from Australia or from Fiji, and you say like, "Oh, I'm from Indonesia," they say, "Really? You have like Indonesian like black people, curly," and it was surprising that the University of Indonesia have people like that. Like they said, "Oh, are you from Papua New Guinea?" And we said, "No, we're from the West." And they said, "Where is the West? It's Papua." And they said, "Okay, that's a part of Melanesian culture." And Melanesian is not just about Papua, but also like Maluku, and then East Nusa Tenggara is also part of Melanesian culture. We also can see the similarities of our culture, our appearance, and many things we have something in common. And we also mentioned that we have like equal the energy from culture. We can do like something like a cultural exchange, and she's ready for having us, having the diplomacy for vision further, that we can have another things to do together, especially also to reach other young people from the Pacific. Okay, thank you, Lily. And the next one we have Bapak Agung Cahya Sumira dari Kementerian Luar Negeri. Selamat sore, Bapak.
Selamat sore, Kakak Moderator. It's my pleasure to be in this forum, Kakak Moderator. Dan maaf, tadi some part of the discussion I was not really clear in hearing the whole part. Yeah, I try to pick up some part of it somehow. Apa terdengar dengan jelas? Do you hear me quite clearly?
Very clear, Pak.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now I give time for you to speak, Pak.
Okay. All right. Can I do my little bit presentation ya? Yang saya hormati, Honorable Bapak-bapak, Ibu sekalian, lalu Kakak Steve Mara, dan juga my new friend Lily Rose, lalu ada lagi Avenai Seruta, also my friends and colleagues from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and some of Indonesian embassies abroad who happen to be here, very much passionate to understand, to see how it goes with your idea, Kakak Steve Mara, in terms of Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum. I'm speaking today actually on behalf of my boss, the Director General of Information and Public Diplomacy, Ambassador Teuku Baisasa, who are conveying his warm regard to everybody. So, if you allow me, I would give a little bit of kind of reverence of my kind of share of thought, yeah, on this forum. Of course, the congratulations, Pak Steve, Kakak Steve Mara, to initiate this Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum. I believe, as it is mentioned and highlighted in your subtopic, strengthening solidarity from Indonesia to the whole world. This is very peaceful message and must be very much underlined. Yeah. To start with, I would mention a bit about what's going on in our surrounding, in the world today. Yeah. So many rapid changes. Many of the changes, even we don't understand it. It is kind of unpredictable. If we see what's happening in Ukraine, in some other part of the world, and also the other challenges of climate change, a natural disaster, and still some existing conflict and armed conflict in some part of the world. But on the other hand, we also notice, yeah, the rapid changes in information, in ICTs, yeah, the buzzword of metaverse, then blockchains, then Meta is everywhere in the world today. So there is a kind of mixtures of trends in the world, whereby there are some part of the world still having conflict, but also some other part, like what we are doing today, is we are taking a step in promoting peace and dialogue. On the other part, there are very fast in developing and renovating ICTs, capacities, and other transformative ideas for the world. Yeah. So I believe the Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum today, in my view, need to think of how can we find relevance, or how can we find solution to these mixtures of trends. And as I hear from what has been mentioned by Kakak Steve, I heard a bit of what he said also from Lily Rose. I believe the fundamental of dialogue and cooperation must be at the forefront, yeah, must be the highest parameter of the initiative by Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum. And I would share with you certain ideas of what should we, all of us, should do in trying to better connect particularly Indonesia and also Pacific countries in the future. Yeah. First thing first, I have a story. I have heard a little bit about Tupaya, yeah, a Tahitian Polynesian, which was very much renowned in the history of the Pacific and the Maori. His far-fetched navigational skills and comprehensive know-how of the Pacific has made him a significant actor in the voyages of James Cook, yeah, with the big ship of HMS Endeavour. And at that time, Tupaya came to Batavia, the then Jakarta. And unfortunately, because of suffering from illness, then Tupaya died, and his burial place is actually in Jakarta now. This is an example of how connection and international relations between the Pacific countries and including Indonesia, yeah, at that time worked quite closely because of history. And the other example, I was informed that the very famous song "Mimpi Sedih," Sad Dream, which was composed by one Indonesian artist, Arianto. Yeah, the song is like di malam sepi aku bermimpi, mimpi yang something like that. Yeah, and around in 1970s, Prince Tui Te Teka, a famous New Zealand singer, heard the song played by New Zealand soldiers in Singapore at that time. And it inspired him profoundly that then he decided to adopt the song in Maori language and having the title of Ipo or Ipo. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And then as it develops and it's quite after some times, then this song becoming famous, and then I was informed that there are kind of the Mimpi Sedih song, the sad song, then translated into local languages of Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, and Cook Islands, and Nauru. It is very much interesting to me. This is again another testament of how close we are. Yeah. So this is exactly relevant to my first point of importance of socio-cultural cooperation in the Pacific region, because it connects us. Yeah, despite maybe we don't have to agree on many things, on all things, but the rooms for discussion, the room for dialogue are still there, especially because not only today, but in the past we were very much connected, yeah, because of this kind of socio-cultural contact. And of course, I believe it leads to the number two, especially the youth. The youth is very much important. It's kind of the backbone of the society now. I believe in the Indonesian statistic is out of 270 million of population, I think almost half of the population actually young generation under 30s. And this is, kind of social capital of the Indonesian development of today and tomorrow. And the other factor that connects, as precisely mentioned by Lily Rose, I believe is the Melanesian ethnicities in Indonesia, which is actually in total number, it's more or less around 11 millions of population, whereby they are now living in the Papua provinces, also in the Malukus, and Nusa Tenggara Timur, and some others, Tanimbar, Kepulauan K, and things like that. And this is very much, it's an asset. This is very much a strong asset of Indonesia that we have now. As just a little bit of a bit out of context, but Indonesia's culture basically has been very much enriched during thousands of years of civilization processes, has been very much colored by the Buddhist tradition, the Hindu tradition, Islam tradition, European tradition, Middle Eastern tradition, Indian tradition, Chinese tradition, things like that. And that is exactly what Indonesia, which shaping Indonesian today. Then why, as an example of why the youth is important, this is cannot be separated from the youth force in Indonesia today, especially in the economy. As e-commerce is running high, and now we have many unicorns in Indonesia. Yeah, the unicorns, the online or e-commerce business, which is valued more than $1 billion, like Gojek, Tokopedia, Traveloka, Bukalapak, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is the asset that we need to capitalize, and hopefully, this initiative can also capitalize on the strength of the ICT technology, e-commerce, digital economy as part of the agenda. We can use the technology to enrich our society and to develop further, including in education, right? Like in the past, we attended classes, but today, when we have class, we can do it through Zoom, like what we do today. It's very easy, very fast, right? All right, and then just a little bit of example of I believe you know Barack Obama, right? The president of the United States. He was in Jakarta for 4 years, and Barack Obama is trying to find his identity, including part of his story in Jakarta, very much colored his perspective in seeing the world, as he stated in his book. I cannot remember exactly, in the Dream for My Father or Audacity of Hope. And basically, the experiences of mingling with other culture, again and again, I would underline, is very much powerful in trying to bringing to the fore the ideas of peace, dialogue, and cooperation, which at the end of the day will be mutually beneficial to all of us. Then this is the kind of another point for the new forum to consider. Then socio-cultural diplomacy efforts. Yeah, a couple of days ago, President Jokowi, the Indonesian president, just officially, what do you call that, inaugurated the football academy in Papua. Yeah, this is a good way of channeling the potential in sport by the Papuan youth in the field of football. I believe the local talent of Papua will excel more with this new football academy. And just a little mention of the current visit, or some days ago, my foreign minister, Her Excellency Ibu Retno Marsudi, visited some Pacific countries, including Solomon Island, and just officially inaugurates the what do you call that, the futsal national stadium in Solomon Island, as requested by the government of Solomon. I believe this is another sector where we can also focus on in the sport for the youth. So the young generation having much potential, having great energy, and this kind of thing need to be supported and promoted. So the first step that need to be done, I believe, is with this new forum, is how can we identify our common interest, right? Let's find our commonalities, our common interests, in order to move forward. And then I would mention about, I'm representing my government, of course. I'll mention about the Indonesian Arts and Culture Scholarship, or IACS, right? This is basically a non-degree scholarship provided by the government of Indonesia, which is offered to young people from our partner countries, yeah, including, this is novel, to my friends from the certain Pacific countries to be part of the program. If you want to know more, of course, we can contact later, and we'd be more than happy, more than ready to provide more information. This has been initiated since 2003, and then it was at the beginning only 12 participants, but then again, as you see, there are now like hundreds of participants from the Pacific. Yeah. And of course, the highlight is the IACS, or in Indonesian language, we call it BSBI. This aim to improve understanding and also kind of closer communication interaction, especially for the young generation. And the importance again and again, the young generation is part of the people-to-people diplomacy, basically people of the people contact. Yeah. And this is some mention about the Indonesian government support to the development of Pacific countries. As I mentioned earlier, we try to support the futsal stadium in Solomon Island, and we provided also international training program on fisheries product in MSG countries, also scholarship program for fisheries and marine resources development for MSG countries, also training on value added of agriculture. And if then, what is the strategy to move forward? I believe the only way to start with is to think and act now. And my ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, and also coupled with the Indonesian mission abroad, the Indonesian embassies, consulate general, we are also ready to work together, basically to think of how can we move forward. And basically this is something that we need to promote further, especially in the socio-cultural cooperation. I believe I've come to the end of my presentation today. I hope this could enrich our discussion. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
So that was a very good presentation. So excellent. Thank you, Pak Agung. It gives us like another insight of how diplomacy can go further. Because we see many potential for the young people in Pacific region. One of them is like a few days ago, President Jokowi was launched the Papua Cultural Academy. That is one of the potential for our collaboration between Papua, Melanesia, Melanesia in Indonesia, also for the countries in Pacific region. Thank you again, Pak Agung. That was very good for us here. Okay. For the next one, we also want to invite Abhinan from Fiji. We want to hear from you, brother, to the South Atlantic Organization Diplomacy Forum. We also want to hear something from you. Can you hear our voice? Abhinan? Okay. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Yes. Bulan Naka.
Whoa. Okay.
Bulan Naka, everyone. Hello from Fiji this evening. It's around 7:54 p.m. on Thursday, and thank you so much for the warm invite that I've been invited for. Just thank you so much, Steve, for kindly inviting me to be part of soft launching of Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum today, and I'm glad that I've been part of this auspicious event. And thank you to all the speakers that have been part of this impressive and informative event. And today I'm really honored to be one of the speakers to address the Fiji, the launching of the Melanesian Youth Forum. And I salute you all for kindly strengthening solidarity of Indonesians to the world. Today I'm going to speak on the importance of the I have few questions to provided today for the youth. I really want to address us all that, especially us youth group we belong to, says our limited, I've said. So we have upgraded society, they live in and make their own from its perspective. And however, being a youth is a synonym of change, progress, and future, especially as a Melanesian youth group. Being a youth is ultimately facing challenges and creating of space for future development. It means turning problems into opportunities and solutions and being the driver force of societies. So as we celebrate the visions, the truths, we celebrate youth engagement for global access, a slogan that seeks to highlight the ways young people engage at the local, national, and global levels, especially we as Melanesian youth group. Sometimes we face challenges in races as part of our skin colors and how it's like global challenges, like we try to address imperatively, like the coronavirus pandemic of climate change, as well as local issues, will affect on the futures. But it's time to see the extent to which this is affect the youngest population to advance solutions, like people aged 14 to 29 years of represent the largest generation in history. We reached out several Cuban society guests in Fiji about the visions, their roles to societies as individuals, the part of the population, from individuality in which they have to live and how to make their own. They process with two questions to which they had some response. What do you think is the role of young people these days? What are you doing from a position to help young people? A group of people that goes from 14 to 29 years of age constitute the largest generation in history. According to Margaret Acosta, 18 years old, the young people not only represent the future of the country, we are one of society, the Melanesian society, Melanesian of change, the Melanesians of bringing people together to sort out changes that our society subsequently faced, especially in a compressed world that the society, the country, and the world are facing currently. We have a great effects on economic development too. The state of change our life, but build social relationship and the development of personality that us as a new generations. What we do when we become adults, the question that we must usually ask ourselves, what we do when we become adults depends on how we think and act today. Young people only have one role. It's the same way that we always had. It does not change because their role is actually changing every time. They're doing this better than before, injecting them with joy and energy. Being a human rights activist, I think my contribution as a champion for young people is to highlight the role of age and change as a young citizen. I join every call for autonomy and emancipation that we as a Malaysia challenge for everyone across the globe. And before I end my presentations, and I would like to elaborate that as what we as Melanesians always boast about, our Oceania, our islands, our land, and the people. Due to colonial neglect, the historic isolations, our history, the Pacific Islands home to the world most of age, and rates of indigenous culture continue to sustain many ancestral ways. Today we spread across vastly, and we spread across vast expanse of ocean, Pacific peoples, foreign environment, from Papua New Guinea, from Vanuatu, Fiji, West Papua, Indonesia, whichever areas of operations that we are living on, Mesa Mountain to Elchos, where 84% of the population is rural and often nearly self-sufficient, still well over cities of circulating metropolitan centers in despite diversity. And before I end up this evening, and I must congratulate my friend Steve for being win in 2019, I believe in the 25th of August in 2019, and I must salute all my Indonesian brothers who I met back in Kuala Lumpur for the IMOND Asian Youth Movement United Nations, which really inspired me. And I remember that is when we first met, and I thought he was from the same island as I am, from Fiji, but later we came to know each other, and we were really, I was really inspired to have met him and met their group for the first time, introducing as Indonesians. And I'm really proud that we share the same flesh and blood as brothers and sisters from the Melanesians. Thank you so much, and Binaka Bakalieb from Fiji.
Okay. Thank you, Evelyn, for the speech. That was amazing. Also, I want to say hello for those who are participating in this meeting online. Some of them are joining from YouTube, and some of them are joining from the Zoom. And now, for stop launching for the Nation Diplomacy Forum, Steve, as a partner, will read the declaration for today in this self-launching of the Nation Forum, Youth Diplomacy Forum. Okay. So for the next one, time is yours.
With a blessing in the spirit of unity, so today we brought to us first, establishing international forum with the comfort of Indonesia to the Pacific. Second, this forum was called the Melanesian Youth Diplomacy Forum. Third, decided to strengthen cooperation relations between youth Pacific regions in various fields of art. Fourth, the effective and efficient communication and cultivating Indonesia and other countries in the Pacific region, the peaceful, prosperous, dignified, democratic, and advanced area in all areas of life. We don't have to participate at the launching event as a form of mutual commitment. So, the blessing and the fruit of humanity that we want to ask the nation. With the blessing and the spirit of humanity, so today, with the blessing and the spirit of humanity, so today we proud to run Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum.
Well, that is the launch of the Nation Youth Diplomacy Forum. Once again, please give a round of applause for the International Forum from Papua to Indonesia from the international. And yeah. Pak Juwita, thank you so much for participating in the launching. Thank you so much. Also, I want to say special thank you for Pak Agung. Saya sini Pak Agung yang sudah tadi memberikan presentasi yang luar biasa. Thank you so much Pak Agung. Also, I want to say thank you for Agnai and also Lily and Pak Juwita. Dia harus meninggalkan ruangan karena ada acara penting lagi yang harus dihadiri. So, and also Steve, thank you so much for establish this forum where Papua for international. This is kind of another international forum for young people in Papua. Once again, please give a applause for Steve for diplomasi forum and for the soft launching today. That is all the our soft launching for today. Thank you for your participation as well.
Kakak moderator, if I may. Kakak moderator, if I may, actually I have here some of the young diplomats of Indonesia. If you don't mind, my friends, could you please open up your video?
Okay.
Alphonse.
Yeah.
Alphonse, lalu also Alphonse. Alphonse is the young bright Indonesian diplomat from Papua. He is with us also, and I have also Almon Merep, maybe are you there, Almon? Good. Almon Merep from Sentani is Indonesian diplomat, and also other friends, maybe Andi from Bali and Stella from Jakarta, I believe. The youngsters of the young Indonesian diplomats also joining this forum. Yeah, this shows the level of our enthusiasm and passion to be supportive of this event. Also, there you go, Bli Andi from Bali. Yeah, we are coming from different part of Indonesia. Also, Stella, if you don't mind, could you be here? Oh, okay, she might be. Kakak Steve, if it is agreeable. Could you please again put the logo with the Indonesian with the geography of the whole of the Republic of Indonesia, if you don't mind, Kakak Steve. And also other countries should be more highlighted, like Fiji, like Vanuatu, in the logo, I mean. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Agung.
Okay, once again, we have another participant for youth diplomacy and some young people from other province in Indonesia. So, boleh tepuk tangan buat teman-teman juga yang sudah boleh kita ini. Jadi, kita akan juga belum dan juga dari beberapa provinsi di Indonesia. So, that's all for our event today. Thank you so much for your participation again. And for close all soft launching for Melanesia Youth Diplomacy Forum, we are going to hear another song from the group Sidola. Sidola Acoustic, please give applause for Sidola Acoustic and all the participants online and on site. Good afternoon.
Oke. Sudah selesai Kakak Steve ya?
Ya Pak, sudah.
Oke, izin live ya. Hi Lily Rose, Avenai, nice meeting you guys. You take care ya. Hope to see you again someday.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Right. Take care. Oke, Kakak
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Terima kasih.
Thank you. I can.
Sama luar biasa.
Hormat.
Ada orang kamu kemarin waktu ini orang mau bilang ini itu artis yang bilang sudah DM KPI sudah orang mau iya.
Ini cara padat sekali. Di sini saya ketemu.
Iya. Ya kalau ketemu, kalau kita DM aja.
Kalau bikin resto, itu pasti
jadi banyak memang gue punya relasi di sini banyak generator apa tapi begitu tadi memang public English speaking lalu aku nggak usah ya agak pindah aja.
Gerakannya bagus. Kerja sulit itu dulu usaha deh. Sebelum begini-begini.
Jadi Sudah paten kan ini
Tepuk tangan dulu.
Oh ya, tepuk tangan dulu.
Dua, tiga. Oke, ini sudah lebih daripada 3 kali.
Biasa. Siang ini son Edwai sama main. Son Edwai ini.
Pasti. Kiri sudah kan? Kiri.
Ya, saudara-saudari bersabar karena berkat lagi disediakan.
Semua setup. Bilang dong setup.
Ya, jadi saudara-saudari mohon kesabaran sebentar. Nah,
Evan ini siapa Evan? Evan ini siapa? Siapa? Evan. Aven.
Sudah selesai.